factoring with a leading coefficient of 1. So, for example, let's say we have this trinomial, x squared plus 7x plus 12. The coefficient in front of the x squared is 1, and this 1 is the leading coefficient. A monomial is a single term, so it could be x squared or 7x or 12, but just one of them. A binomial contains two terms, so for example, x squared plus 7x. And a trinomial has three terms, so it could be our original, which is x squared plus 7x plus 12. So we've heard factoring before, but factoring also means to change from something in standard form, like y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, to something into intercept form, y equals a times parenthesis x minus p times parenthesis x minus q. Okay, let's look at factoring x squared plus bx plus c with small numbers. We're going to use this x to help us. Now remember, so our a is 1 because our leading coefficient is 1, and b is the coefficient of the x term and c is the constant. Now you'll notice that c goes at the top of the x, and for our first problem, x squared plus 4x minus 21, our c is negative 21. And then our b, which in this case will be 4, will go at the bottom of the x. Now we're looking for two numbers that multiply to negative 21, but add up to 4. And in this case, we have 7 and negative 3, because 7 times negative 3 equals negative 21, and 7 plus negative 3 equals 4. So x squared plus 4x minus 21 factors to x plus 7 times x minus 3. Let's look at our second example, x squared plus 6x plus 8. So here our c is 8, goes at the top, our b is 6, that goes at the bottom, and we are looking for numbers that multiply to 8 but add up to 6. 2 and 4 work, because 2 times 4 is 8, and 2 plus 4 is 6. So x squared plus 6x plus 8 factors to x plus 2 times x plus 4. Let's look at our last example here, x squared minus 9. Our c is negative 9, and we don't see an x term, so our b is 0. So we're looking for two numbers that multiply to negative 9 and add to 0. Could be negative 3 and positive 3. So x squared minus 9 factors to x minus 3 times x plus 3. Okay, that was factoring with small numbers. What if we have larger numbers? Because then it becomes a little bit harder to factor. Okay, we're going to use our graphing calculators to help us unless we really have our times tables under our belts. So for this first example, x squared plus 20x plus 51. Again, my c is 51, so it went at the top of the box. And my b is 20, so it went at the bottom of the x. Sorry, not the box, the x. And in y equals in our graphing calculators, for y1 we could write 51 over x, or the c number divided by x. And then if we go to the table, scroll through the table to find the pair that adds to 20. So those will be two numbers that multiply to 51 and add to 20. So here we see 3 and 17, because 3 times 17 is 51, and 3 plus 17 equals 20. So that means x squared plus 20x plus 51 factors to x plus 3 times x plus 17. Let's try it again with our second example. X squared minus 21x minus 72. Let's draw my x. My c term is negative 72. My b term is negative 21. So in my graphing calculator in y1, I could write y1 equals negative 72 divided by x. And if I look for a row that adds to negative 21, I find 3 and negative 24. Because 3 times negative 24 equals negative 72, and 3 plus negative 24 equals negative 21. So x squared minus 21x minus 72 factors to x plus 3 times x minus 24.